Think you're working on that mic for questions. So I'm Megan Maddocks. I'm the People and Culture Champion at PCC. And
I'm Grace Kuzman, and I am the Benefits Administrator.
Nice. And we work on a team that's called Caring for PCC. So it all kind of fits together. I feel even more official now. We're going to talk about the benefits that we offer PCCers, and then towards the end, we'll do some share time. I have a couple of examples of some PCC clients and benefits, out of the ordinary benefits, and then we'll have you all share too. I also invite conversation. So if you have questions, I'll try to do a couple pauses, but please raise your hand or walk up to the mic anytime if you have a question in the moment. So said mic. And we have this one too as a backup that is working. All right. So let's do it. So our session goals are to discuss PCC's principles behind benefit packages and then suggest benefit options valuable to employees. So first, just a bit about PCC and where the foundation is. So our mission is to remove the obstacles that prevent a pediatrician from practicing medicine. And missions shouldn't change often, and I don't think this has, right? This has been around for a long, long time, and it still holds, it's still what we do, why we do everything that we do every day. We have values, and of course we have values. We have 4 named values. I am gonna be working on making these a little bit more clear this year with all my fellow PCCers, but our values they'll still be very much like this. Some of them are just a little, what does that mean? So humanity over profit, that very much stands true. Independence and self-determination, that goes with us staying independent, the desire to stay independent, and to support you all staying as independent businesses. Pragmatic irreverence, that's the one that gets a little like, what does that mean? And what it means is that we do the right thing. We don't always follow the crowd. The one example that comes to mind is that we were not ONC certified for years because the work that we would have had to do to accomplish that wouldn't have served you fully. Now it is, so now we're getting back into it, but that's an example. And then last is sharing what we know. I would say learn.pcc.com is an example of that. Anyone can go see, it's public. If we have the knowledge, we want the entire pediatric community to have it. So, yeah, all right. Switching back over to benefits, so guiding principles on benefits. Compensation is salary plus benefits. So we're looking at it, I remember when I was new in my career, I didn't realize that, oh my gosh, they pay so much more than what the dollar figure is that I'm getting in my paycheck. So we look at it as a whole package and try to be very transparent about that. We also want employees to be doing what they're doing. We're not golden handcuff people. We're not, merit raise people. We want people to enjoy what they're doing here. So that's a principle. I might go over here so I don't have to keep looking up there. All right. Benefits should have genuine, if intangible, value. So as you'll see as we go through, we try and make it, we have a lot of fun stuffed in there. And then employees are people, so we want to treat them like it. All right. The other, if I'm looking at the balcony, not on the dance floor, the other guiding principles is we are a benefit corporation. And there are 4 constituencies for this. Customers, of course, you all, employees, our community, and our shareholder owners. So with that, we give a significant amount of money, it's awesome, to our community. Some of that comes back to us, but we really do it because it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to share and support. So, all right. Any questions or comments before I get into the actual nitty-gritty of what we offer our employees? All right. Oh, benefits versus compensation. So as I gave the example of myself when I was fresh out of college, and I said, I'm making this amount. This is my paycheck, not realizing there's a whole lot more money going in there. So for us, we consider the benefit package as an additional compensation. And at PCC, benefit cost equals about 20% of our wages and taxes. The value of the benefits, let's see, value of benefits to employees outweighs the wage offset. Probably not everyone would agree with this. I'm sure I wouldn't have, or I didn't when I was 24, right? And that's okay, that's a big, I don't mean that as an age thing, I meant that as I was new in my career and I didn't understand all that I do now. So, yeah. All right, benefits versus compensation continued. Welcome, welcome. Plenty of seats up here. Base benefits decision on the genuine perceived value to employees rather than perceived employee retention gains. Maybe we've had people, gosh, Grace and I run company meeting every month, and I want to say almost every month there's someone over 20 years that's here,
Yep,
right?
I think so. And we have people who've been at PCC for over 30 years as well.
Right.
So.
Yes, it's mind-boggling. So again, as I said before, we want people to want to be here. Like when guiding philosophy is when I've changed jobs. This has not happened since I've been at PCC, obviously. So when I wake up and I'm like, oh, I don't want to go. That's when I know there's time for a change. And so a guiding principle is we want people to want to be here, so we treat them well to be able to accomplish that. All right, so let's start with vacation time. So we do a combined time off. There is sick mandated time in Vermont, 6 days per year. If you work over a certain amount of hours or weeks, this is where the law, she's better with the laws than I am on this stuff.
Yep. Yeah, it's like for every 52 hours worked, you earn at least 1 hour of paid sick time.
That's what, yes, thank you. People start with 21 days per year of CTO. So again, it's sick and vacation. And then at 5 years, that moves up to 26 days. And then at 10 years, 31 days and beyond. And that's not all the paid time off. There's my spoiler for the next slide. But first, our holidays. We generally follow your schedule. So Memorial Day, but not necessarily Columbus or Indigenous Peoples Day. Are you all, this is something that we're most likely going to put in next year. Juneteenth, do any of you close for Juneteenth? All right, this is great for me to know. Awesome. Because we always have emergency support, so it's not that we are fully gone, but we wanted to start doing that. We also close for the week of Thanksgiving. And have, go ahead.
I do also want to point out that Megan said the CTO numbers are in addition to these holidays because we say we have paid holidays and we actually truly mean they're paid holidays. You don't use your accrued time off. I didn't realize I was crazy, but yeah, my husband and my sister work places where they have to use their accrued time off. Oh. Even if my husband's office building is closed for the holiday, he has to use his personal time off to get paid for it. So that is something that I highlight with our new employees. Oh,
no,
yes.
It does seem,
oh, yes.
Yes.
Yep. But yeah, so we say, yep, if we are closed, you are getting paid and you don't dig into your own CTO. So it adds on 18 to 19 days of time off.
Right, and that ties into the whole philosophy of happy people who are well taken care of are going to be happier working.
Yeah.
Again, we want people to be here.
Yeah.
All right, this is the fun one. So, this ties into what Grace was saying. At some point, pre-Megan at PCC, they came up with an idea that folks need a good 2-week break. I think this came from John.
Yeah, John and Jay, who are co-founders of PCC and still with us, still at PCC. That came out weird. But yeah, they realized that very few of their employees had ever had 2 weeks off. You take 1 week off, and then you get to the end of that week and be like, oh man, I'm in vacation mode, and then you go back to work. And so they were like, that's crazy. Everyone, like, you need 2 weeks, so you have that first week of adjustment, and then the start of that second week, you actually get to enjoy being on vacation. So figuring out how to do that with, I think when we started, we had around 80 employees. We picked a month. We're like, August. Right. I don't know if some of you might remember that. I said August, half the month, like the first half the company's off. Second half of August, other half is off. And that was a lot of stress building up, lots of emails going back and forth while people were out, so took a lot of catching up. So the next year we were like, okay, let's try something else. Let's say, okay, everyone gets 2 weeks, take it whenever you want. That was a lot of work on our team to track all of that. Yeah. So the past...
Since I've been here, so 4 years?
4 years. Time is crazy. So the past 4 years, we've said, you know what, the last 2 weeks of the year, a lot of our employees take off It's a big family time, so we said, yep, okay, we're going to have those 2 weeks where we are off. And as you all know, as Megan said, we're never fully off and away from support. We always have emergency support. So we have, so always emergency support. We also have a skeleton crew. So they work regular hours during that extended week, extended time off, and then they get to take 2 weeks later. But tracking, I don't know, about 10 people's random 2-week breaks is much nicer than tracking about 80 of them. So that's where we've landed for now.
Yeah. And this is all in addition to your 21 to those days. So yeah, and it works well because at least I remember at former places where I worked, everyone tried to get their vacation time in for those holiday weeks. So anyways, all right, let's keep going.
Are your employees all 5 days a week? And if so, how many hours per week is a work week?
We're typically 5 days a week, 40 hours. We have some working a flex schedule, and we are very much starting to look at like what a 32-hour work week would do to us. Yeah, and how it would support, because again, it just comes back to that happy life balance. People do better work philosophy, or happier, not do better work. This is not coming out right, but are happier and produce. Yeah.
Are they mostly exempt or non-exempt?
All exempt.
All exempt.
Yes, except for literally one. Yes, we have one hourly employee. So yeah.
Probably more hourly.
Yes. All right, this is where I went, Grace, will you do this part? Our healthcare, I guess the tagline is we keep it very low cost for employees, and as a result, it's complex.
Yeah, complex
All right.
is a good summary of it. So again, the bottom line I tell new employees is that it is complex, but it is complex so that our employees pay as little out of their own pockets as possible. Which means we have different tiers. So we do the high deductible plan because overall it's cheaper. It's still very expensive. But yeah, PCC puts money into employees' HSAs, which are their own personal accounts. So we put money in even if they leave. Any money that they hadn't used stays there, and it's pre-tax money. And then we do say, okay, yep, once you use that portion up, then you have your own personal out-of-pocket to pay, which I think numbers are coming, so I'll get there.
I do have,
Yeah.
we don't have the graph in here, but yeah, that might be better.
So PCC funds the HSA. We say that's the first building block. That second it's gonna get hard. Second building block is the personal out-of-pocket. And then the third one, which you just add those 2 blocks up, you get to the HRA, which is PCC funded. And I think the easiest way to explain how we use it is that everyone on the individual plan needs to get the same amount of money from us for the HSA to keep everything equitable in the eyes of the IRS. Anyone on the 2-person, 2+ plan also needs to have the same amount put into their HSA by PCC. But I'll say I had my baby in January 2023, so I used all of my HSA and out-of-pocket immediately. And so I had a lot of claims, but we have some employees who don't go to the doctor as much. So PCC just uses the HRA so that we can give more money to people who have higher claims. And it doesn't roll over, it's just if the claims reach that threshold, that 3rd tier of funding, then they have access to it. And again, I had a baby. I went through all of those tiers and got to where insurance paid 100% for anything else going after that. Does that make sense? So then that $750, $1,350 is the out-of-pocket for paying for claims. It does not include premiums, but we have not raised employee premiums or the out-of-pocket in about 20 years. I think slightly over 20 years, and you all are paying for plans. Healthcare costs are changed a little bit. But we want to make sure that all of our employees are actually using their health insurance, going to the doctor, not feeling like they can't use it. So, it's actually $48 a month. 50 is a nice round number, though. 100 for 2-person or a single parent with children, and then 150 for 3 or more people on a plan. Yeah, and it's always the debate. Our insurance brokers are always like, you could raise it, like you still have really good health plan, but then we're like, if we give a raise, it doesn't go as far because it's just going to cover healthcare expenses. So we've decided, again, to make sure that employees actually use their health insurance, that we just keep that all steady.
Yeah. The broker's face was shocked.
Oh, yes.
It's yes.
They don't, yeah.
Like, you do what? Yes. It's kind of like, yes, we do. All right.
Anybody not take your insurance?
We have a handful.
Do you get any sort of extra
Yeah.
payment?
Yeah, so the question was, do we have any employees who do not take our plan? And if so, do we give them anything in return? And so, yeah, we have a handful. There's like one or two other plans that various spouses have that compete with ours. And we give, I think it's $75 a month to people who don't take it. So it's definitely not the full amount that we pay, but it is more than what an employee would pay for an individual plan.
Cool. All right. Let's move on to dental. We do not use Delta Dental or any other, or Blue Cross Blue Shield or any of those. So instead, we just provide reimbursement because it's not cost effective. It would cost more per employee for us to do that. And I have to say, my provider loves it. I pay in full when we leave. We have family dentist day twice a year. Pay in full, get a little discount, and then it's in my next paycheck. So we don't adjudicate claims. That's not what we want to do, but we do require a receipt from the provider.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, we just require you get a printed out thing that says the name of the office so we know it's real, the data service so we can make sure they're actually covered, and then a line item of the services because we do compare it to our plan and we just say, yep, that looks like dental stuff that we cover.
Yeah, so we do an annual dollar limit. And let's see, yeah, we definitely don't believe people will spend. People aren't going to the dentist like, yes, let's go to the dentist, right? Who wants a root canal? And our current limit is $2,500, and this does include, I've got a 14-year-old with braces, so that helps too. So as opposed to a plan that may cover some of that or may not. Total cost in 2022 was just over $93,000, roughly $77 a month per employee. So, yeah.
How much would y'all have spent, do you think, if you'd gone through a Delta Dental?
I just thought of that in my head, and I don't know. Do you know?
So the question was, do we...
Right, or else we wouldn't have done it, yeah.
Yeah, do we know how much we would have spent if we used Delta Dental? We did the math a few years ago, and I don't know, but yes, it was definitely more than $77 per person, because there was also like, if we're paying a premium for that, are we going to pay for the out-of-pocket claims? So then it's also like, not only is it more expensive for us, but it probably actually makes it more expensive for employees.
A friendly reminder, we have
Oh, yes, there is a microphone in the middle.
I'm forgetting. I remembered in the big room yesterday.
A friendly reminder that
we
we have the mic here for folks to ask their questions so that all the folks streaming this course can benefit from hearing what you have to ask and then get the answer. So if you have any, just come right up to the mic.
Thank you, Kate. I'm being a bad... Oh. Let's do that one first. Do you know the answer to that one, and then we'll have you ask. 1 second.
So with the reimbursement, my understanding, there we go, is if it's a direct reimbursement, we have the receipt for it, then we are able to do it pre-tax. So a lot of these benefits are pre-tax. Yeah.
So we're a very small practice. We only have about 10 employees. And instead of doing a dental plan with our regular plan, we went through AFLAC and did ancillary benefits. And it's very cheap. It's like $3 and something cents, and the coverage is decent. So if you are in a huge practice that has that, that is a really good option.
Awesome. Love that. Thank you for sharing. This is, yes.
We do vision, dental, short-term, life, whatever people want to do, they can sign up for it. We contribute, I think, just to short-term and potentially dental. And
Okay.
Actually, I think we do short-term dental and vision. Sorry. So I believe we contribute to the employees' short-term disability, vision, and dental, and the whole, I mean, for our office, I think it's like $300 a month that we're paying. And the benefits are decent, and you don't have to go to an in-network dentist, which is nice, because you just submit your bill to it, and if they process, they do. If not, you
Yeah.
know.
Lovely, thank you. All right, similar story with vision. We also don't have vision, we just have a reimbursement plan. We're still not in the business of adjudicating claims. So this is an annual dollar limit for each family member, just like dental. It's currently at $1,000. And in 2022, we spent just over $56,000, yeah.
Yeah. And also with the vision, we do have the plan doc about what it covers, but it says it covers exams and prescription lenses. So you can be told, yes, you need glasses, and then also use the funds to purchase said glasses.
Yes.
And we have caveats about like colored contact lenses. No, we're not just going to pay for those, but if they are prescription, sure. Same with prescription sunglasses. If there are actually corrective lenses, they can use this. And this is also dental and vision is per covered person. So it's the employee, their spouse, and any IRS recognized dependents. We might have had it on a different slide. We also do allow for domestic partners. Is that?
Oh, I don't know if that's in here, but yes, we definitely do.
Yeah, we allow for domestic partners, and that is a whole, all the reimbursements and premiums are taxable. So whenever someone says, I have a domestic partner, I say, I will meet with you one-on-one shortly to go over all of the different tax things with them. But yeah.
I like this one. Vision, this one's crazy. We offer a one-time benefit of having LASIK. It's a long-term, well, I remember Bill, who just retired on Tuesday after 22 years with PCC as the CFO. I remember he stood up here last year and he goes, I was real scared about this one. But it's one of those very beneficial benefits that, I don't know, it actually saves long-term, right? And we're not paying vision.
Yeah.
And you can see the numbers aren't that out of control. Right. 8 claims and then 331, 221. And I think we had one last year, our teammate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, like I had LASIK might have been my first year, maybe my second year. And yeah, I haven't really had vision claims since.
Right.
So, yeah, that's a very neat benefit. It's a very freaky surgery.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. All right, so next, I left this one in here. We rarely take benefits away once they're out there because, well, for lots of reasons. But we did offer hearing aids. You can see what we used to offer that's with the strike through, but we removed it because the state of Vermont is mandating coverage. So everyone has it now, which is pretty cool. Go Vermont. All right. Fitness benefit. This one is designed to promote activity, obviously. This one we get the most frequently asked questions on, I'd say, for what is covered and what is not. And I believe this one is taxable income. So people can use it for gym memberships, ski passes, skis, bikes, not running shoes, right? Not like everyday things, we don't cover like Apple Watches and Fitbits. Only applies to the employee, but employee may use funds for a family member. Like I think when I bought passes, we got ski, not that we could ski last year, but I got the $750 back. So yeah, people really enjoy this. Are you good there? Anything to add? Okay. All right. Ooh, maybe I'll have you. There are some that Grace is very well versed in compared to me.
So we have our 401k through Vanguard/Ascensus. We've picked them because they have the lowest fees available, and they allow us to cover most fees associated with funds. There are a few out there that employees have to pay, but we pay the ones that we can so that the money that goes in there really, truly actually goes to our employees. Our maximum match is 4%. We do a 3% match for the first 3%, and then 50% for 4 to 5. So if someone puts in 5% or more, PCC will match 4%. We do also have our plan set up to auto-enroll people. So about 30 days before they're eligible, I send out a message that's like, hey, you're eligible, here's a bunch of information, here's how you log in. We have a, not consultant, advisor, 401k advisor, who can come in and meet with our employees, talk to them about different options. Sometimes there's rollovers, they can help them with those. And if after all of that, our employees still don't do anything, don't log in, don't say no, don't say yes, then our plan is set up so that their date of eligibility, we enroll them at a 3% pre-tax into a target retirement fund. And they can go in and change it if they would like, but it is all set up so that they are automatically getting enrolled, and with that 3% pre-tax, then PCC matches 3% as well. And yeah, something else, you are vested immediately, because again, we don't want to hold getting your money out of your 401k account as like a little carrot to keep people to have people stay with us. So it's as soon as that money goes in there, it's yours, even if you were to leave. And yeah, there's a 3-month waiting period. So sometimes it's more than that, depending, because you can only enroll quarterly. So some people, if they started just after the start of a quarter, they basically have to wait 6 months to get onto it. Yeah, we just added some ESG funds, so we do try and keep an eye on that, but we also have the fiduciaries who keep track of all of the funds and how they're doing to move them in and out. Yeah, our 401k plan also does allow for some loans. Employees can have 2 loans out at once, so that is used times. My HVAC bit the dust in the height of summer, right before my wedding when I was going to have a party at my house. So got a loan and got it fixed, so that was lovely. I didn't have to just drain my savings account to fix my HVAC.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you don't do anything, you'll be auto-enrolled, but you can also say, no, thank you. So, question?
Yes, so the financial advisor, is that person part of Vanguard? We use Vanguard also.
So we use Equitable Advisors, so I think we've actually been with Charles longer than we've been at Vanguard. So I think we did find him separately, but he does have a connection with them because he can log into the site and see some different stuff. Yeah.
And then you confused me because it says match 4%, and then you said PCC does 3%?
So yeah, it's the fund 401k match language. So 4% is the maximum, and to get that, employees need to put in 5% or more, because we say PCC matches 100% for the first 3% that employees put in, and then we match 50% for the 4th and 5th percent that goes in. So if you put in 5, you get the maximum of 4.
That's to get to your safe harbor.
Yes, and it is a safe harbor plan, and that's how it all works, so that we can actually have the safe harbor plan. Thank you.
All right. I can't believe it's already 1:40. Oh, but we started at 1:10.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got half.
Then we're good. Oh, we're good. All right. Any more on 401k before I got nervous there for a second, but we're fine. All right. Life and disability insurance, $50,000 life insurance policy for everyone, disability for everyone, and it pays 60% of current salary and applies to maternity leave. That one's pretty straightforward. We also have family medical leave. So this provides 6 weeks of paid family leave for qualified events. Do you want to, go for it.
And that, for anyone familiar with FMLA is the 12 weeks of protected leave that is, it's unpaid leave. So it was in the past few years that PCC said, we are going to guarantee employees have 100% salary for those first 6 weeks. So again, I used a lot of our benefits when my kid was born. So maternity leave for disability is, depending on how the baby is born, 6 or 8 weeks. Disability has a 2-week waiting period, but PCC says for the first 6 weeks of your leave, it's 100% paid. So when I was in that waiting period, PCC paid me for those first 2 weeks, and then disability kicked in. They pay 60%, which meant for the next 4 weeks, PCC paid me 40% of my salary, and disability paid me 60%. And then after those 6 weeks, employees can use CTO or have it unpaid. We work with them.
So you kind of doubled your benefits like that by doing the short term and then the FMLA?
Yeah, so the question was, did I basically double my benefits by doing disability and FMLA? And it's not really doubling it. They work concurrently, and so by combining them, we got 100%. Which, yes, disability, the company definitely wants to make sure we're not going over 100%. So there's lots of documentation to send them to make sure we say, yep, you pay 60%. We just make employees whole. Yep.
Right. Flexible benefits, dependent care, healthcare and commuter choice. These are mandated, I feel like, somewhere else. Anything else to comment on those? I know people do reimbursement for us for pre-tax dollars.
Yeah. I know these ones we run basically in-house. Not basically. We do run it in-house. We do payroll deductions, and then we keep track of how much has been deducted, and folks submit receipts so that they can access the money in that account to be reimbursed for. And yeah, they each have their own fun rules about maximums and carryovers. But yeah, it's just another way to get some pre-tax funds in there. And healthcare, the healthcare reimbursement, since we have a high deductible health plan, benefits are alphabet soup. So this is the HCRA, which is completely separate from the HRA. And this gets complicated if people are on our health plan and they still want to use it. So for the most part, it's for people who are not on our plan who do want to have pre-tax benefits. But it is also, we are able to have it work out. It's just there's a lot of rules around it. But yeah, they're all just ways for employees to lower their taxable income, which is a big goal of how we structure a lot of our benefits to make sure employees are getting as much in their pockets as possible.
Thank you.
Sorry, is that like for daycare?
So the dependent care reimbursement account, that is an IRS, lots of IRS rules around what can count. And to have care count, they have to be an IRS, a dependent in the eyes of the IRS. There we go. And the care that you received that you're getting reimbursed for must be to allow the parent to work. And so if it's a two-parent household, both parents need to be at work for that care to count. Or if one parent is like going to school or looking for a job, it would be while one parent's working and the other one is going to school or looking for a job. So if there is a two-parent household, or more than one, if one parent is not working, then they would not be eligible. And I think, the cutoff for the age is 12 or 13, I think, somewhere around there.
Okay. Nice. Thanks. Jury duty, paid at regular salary rate for up to 15 days. I feel like if someone really went to a big trial, we'd probably, we bend our own rules sometimes too. We haven't had that happen.
Yeah, knock on wood.
Yes.
Yeah, we usually tell employees, if you do get called for jury duty, give us the letter so that we can know. We have a heads up, say, communication really is the name of the game. Just because we got called for duty doesn't mean you're actually going to get pulled in. But just let us know so that we can know what's going on. And then if you do get called, then we say, okay, yep, we'll just track it. And if they don't, then we say, yeah, you got to go to the court for a day and got to come home.
Yep. Adoption benefit. We provide $5,000 towards adoption costs. And I don't know the numbers on this, but it's one of those that's not frequently used, but when it is, people are very thankful for it.
Yep. And I do, this is one that I also say, this is for adopting human children, not animals.
This is not the truth. Yeah, very good. Valid point. Next one is EV purchase. So $1,000 towards brand new, right? Does it have to be brand new?
Nope.
It can be used.
Yep.
An EV or a plug-in hybrid.
Yep. And this is a taxable benefit.
Yep. What else? Oh, cell phone and home internet. So we reimburse, especially in this. Well, we did this before too, but we're flexible schedules, working from home during COVID. Wanted to make sure everyone has proper internet at home. But I feel like that was a pre-COVID thing. John just wants people to have the internet at home. So we
Yeah.
pay for
Yeah.
$85 a month, reimburse approximately $85 a month for home internet and for your cell phone plan.
Yep. This, again, again, my understanding is every year we need the bill to be submitted so that we can say, yep, this is the cost of the plan, and then it is pre-tax. Yep. But we do require employees to submit it every year, and if it changes, we say, give us a new bill so we can have it on record. Yep. And with the internet, that changes, I don't know, yearly. So our staff accountant, Jen Loisel, I don't know if any of you remember her. She used to run the UC for over 20 years. She has a lovely little cheat sheet for how much like Xfinity charges in different areas because it all changes. So that number gets adjusted occasionally. And yeah, we've had cell phones as part of as a benefit since the iPhone came out. It was a whole thing. The iPhone came out and John said, employees are getting those. And then a little while later said, okay, you don't have to have an iPhone, you can have an Android.
Reluctantly, probably.
Yes, I'm sure that was reluctant. And then recently in the past year, I think it's the past year, we are now over 100 employees. We used to do in-house cell phone plans. That's a lot to keep track of, and people would travel and we need to have travel passes, and then we would deduct those from their paycheck, and then they'd want upgrades, or they would want, like, Disney Plus does some discounts, and so we have been slowly getting people onto their own plans, which, as I said, we have people who have been with us for over 30 years, over 20 years. They've never been on their own cell phone plan because we've been giving phones since the iPhone came out. So that's been an interesting switch, but it allows people to, if they're traveling, they have full control of their phone rather than needing to see if myself or one other member on our team was available to make any changes because cell phone companies only talk to one or two people.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right. We follow the standard IRS limits for tuition reimbursement if people want to take college courses, take courses.
And yeah, and on this, the tuition reimbursement too, I'd like to highlight that it's does not need to be connected to the employee's job at all. This is just like if there's a college course that you're interested in, awesome, talk to your team, just in case there's some scheduling conflicts. And then we say it needs to be at an accredited institution. And then if the team says, yep, schedule works out, then we say, awesome. There's usually a box you can check that says, defer some payment. My employee is going to reimburse me. My employer is going to reimburse me. And then we just get a transcript and a bill at the end of it. Yeah, we do have, ask for employees to have a bit of a skin in the game. We say we'll reimburse 75% up to the $52.50 per year. So employees do pay a little bit in there. But yeah, it does not have to be connected to the job at all. It's just something they're interested in.
We also have an EAP. I would say this is our most underutilized, and it's a goal of ours to put more effort into having these things be known. So and utilized.
Yes, but yeah, it is an awesome benefit. They have we work with a local Vermont one, but they have a website, they have a phone number that you can call. Their website has all sorts of different resources on budgeting. They also can connect you with lawyers, and I think there's through them, I think it's a 30-minute free consult, and then a discounted rate, but they have all sorts of tools on their website, so I like to just try and push people there. They also say you can call them, and if you're looking for just help finding a babysitter or dog sitter, trying to figure out should you buy a car, should you lease a car, they have resources. So it's just go to their website, give them a call. It's
I need to tell more people
underutilized, but
about
it's,
that. I'm kicking myself right now.
Yeah, it's a very wonderful benefit that does not get used much.
The next one is one of those, we don't know why, but it's awesome. Someone probably broke down on a client trip 30 years ago, but and said AAA for everyone. But this is another one of those low cost, but when you need it, gosh, it's great to have it. So everyone has a AAA membership.
Yep. And this is one of the few benefits that we allow employees to actually just pay for their family to be on. It's like I pay for my husband to be added onto the plan. So I pay for that through payroll deduction. But then, yeah, he's on the plan, and it's a corporate program, so it is slightly cheaper than being on our own.
The next one is fun stuff. So when we started this presentation, I talked about us being a benefit corporation, and part of our humanity over profit, and we give a significant amount of our profit away. As a result, we get some benefits back. So we have passes to our local science, nature museum, Echo. Well, for those of you who have gone to UC in Burlington, maybe you've gone to Echo. Passes to the International Film Festival, discounted ski passes. One of our local clients, and also maybe one of our, I feel like they're in the first bucket of clients that PCC ever had. They run a flu shot for us every year, flu shot clinic. We also do.
We tag on to theirs, actually.
Or we tag onto theirs. All right. I'm exaggerating over here. We also have 2 times per year, you'll see emergency support notifications go out. We do a Creation and Discovery Day, and we don't have many rules, but you have to take a vacation day, or you have to have forced family fun. So Creation and Discovery Day, you go out. We do things like horseback riding or all sorts of fun stuff. We made wreaths, but yeah, it's about team building, team bonding, and then fun day. Oh, go ahead.
And yes, as Megan said, if you don't participate in that, you have to use CTO day. So we work in an office environment. We don't have many workers' comp claims. Those are the ones that cause workers' comp. So
Grace gets nervous on this day.
we limit activities based on
Yeah.
how injured you might get.
We take ideas, and someone wanted to do the axe throwing, and Grace said, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did?
I was like, nope. Yeah, we're not axe throwing.
We went zip lining.
We have
Oh, cool.
Axe throwing for us.
Yeah. Just talking about,
Oh, no workers' comp, great.
Yeah, some folks have done axe throwing, zip lining. I don't remember the other one. But yeah, so we like Megan said, we still do horseback riding. We still do some active sports. We've done zip lining. So we don't say no to absolutely everything, but we don't go skateboarding because somebody fell and broke their arm in the parking lot afterwards. No paintball, because again, it was in the parking lot. Someone got injured, but workers' comp is very unimpressed when we say, yes, this was work.
Yeah,
They had to be there.
they say, we're not mad at you, we're disappointed kind of thing. Yeah, they're not pleased. It doesn't help, so, yeah. And then Fun Day, you want to talk about Fun Day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fun Day, well, actually, both of these, again, where you have over 100 employees, so it's a lot of coordinating. Fun Day, the idea is that we all are in one spot, that there's lots of activities, but we're all together. Because, post-COVID, a lot of us still work from home. We've hired a lot of people, so we don't have that much face-to-face time. But we're getting very limited on where we can go because Vermont is very small. But yeah, the idea is there's one spot where we can all meet up, have food, and then split off and do different activities. But again, just like Creation Discovery Day, it is you go or you take time off. Over the pandemic, we were a little more lenient with that, and we said, if you don't want to participate, we did have some virtual options, or we said, you know what, if you really aren't comfortable being in a group, you can just work a regular day. And there's a question in the back.
So if it's an activity that's outside of work hours, are they paid during that time?
Oh, it's
Oh, so it is during the work hours. It is regular work days. Yep. So we have emergency coverage, that phones are still covered, but it is a regular work day, so people are paid, yep.
Never done any activity out of work hours, like on a weekend or something like that?
Not recently. I know in the past we've done some family things in the evenings, but we have not done that recently. So I do not have the answer on how that worked out.
If anybody else in the room has an answer to that, I would love to know, because it's been proposed to me, and I kind of feel like as the boss, if I'm paying for you to have fun, I'm not paying you to be there, but
I think as long as you make it optional,
yeah.
then it's okay. Yeah, so, I mean, I think if you communicate, we went to a winery last month, but it was purely optional. They didn't have to go. But if they do want to go, it's on their time. But as long as it's not, a function, they have to go. Nice.
And then food. It would be silly of me not to mention food. We really like food. We do a lot of, every time a new PCCer joins us, there's a welcome lunch, and they have to eat first. It's
Yes.
like, it's a thing.
That's real.
That
People
is
will
real.
line up
We have, like,
waiting
those-
for the new employee to
Yes.
eat first, to get their plate, and then everyone else can go.
And then we also just keep kitchens stocked. Like you don't have time in the morning because you're busy, you can always make a peanut butter and jelly bagel and cream cheese, fruit. It's those little things that just make life easier and go a long way.
And there's one more, the peer-to-peer
Oh,
awards.
I skipped that
on
one.
here. Those are peer-to-peer awards are just a little gift that we say you can write a message to someone who's gone above and beyond, a fellow employee who's gone above and beyond in helping you, and you want to have them recognized. You can write up a little note, say if you want your name on it, if you want it to be anonymous, and then Deb, who's on our Care for PCC team, will send them the note and a $25 gift card. So we let employees give up to 4 and receive up to 4 in a year. So if they get nominated more than that, so you can send a letter. They're not going to get another $25 gift card, but it's just a nice little way to recognize employees.
Yep. And we made it. And I think we have, what, like 5 minutes? Perfect. Oh, we got a question. Sure, please.
And I guess this is really not just for you guys, but for anybody. Do you guys query your employees about what they want? Because I feel like sometimes we'll do stuff thinking that like, oh, this is so nice. And then like you'll walk through the office and hear people being like, well, this sucks.
Yep.
And so I'm just curious if y'all ever use any like SurveyMonkey or any of those kind of tools.
We do.
I think we've gotten onto like an every other year kind of survey. And then just, we hear things outside of the survey too that we try and keep stocked. But yeah, we are in like an every other year thing to ask employees how that's going.
Yeah. So are there any unique benefits that you all want to share with each other, like annual flu shots? And I think I see SWC, that's why I got excited in the middle, because SWCC is here, and hopefully I remember this from when I was on site. No cost healthcare for your employees' kids, right? Sorry to put you on the spot, but I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Huh.
It's just for the employees. They can add their children, but the employees are covered at 100%.
Yeah, I think that's an incredible benefit.
Oh, yeah, our office will see their children, right.
Yeah, it's awesome. All right.
One of our most recent benefits that our staff is really thrilled about, we get our birthdays off. If your birthday's on a Saturday, you'll get Friday off. If your birthday's on a Sunday, you'll get Monday off. But other than that, you get the actual day off, not any other day.
I love that idea.
You get the next day off.
That might go on our list as my inner monologue is coming out. That's
For employees that have been with us for a while, I think more than 5 years, we contribute to the child's, what's it called? The education, 529. Yeah, $1,000 a year.
What's it?
You can also do, for the 401k, you can also do a profit sharing portion, which allows you to put more into the 401k pre-tax. And you can do that vested, which is probably a good idea. But it's really good for your hourly employees who don't generally contribute much to their 401k, so they get a decent chunk.
We just thought of one more to share.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just with the limit on how long someone's been there to get a benefit, before it used to be more of a rumor that if you worked at PCC for more than 20 years, you would have a sabbatical. It's now officially written down, and we have a sabbatical.
For 3 months.
We have a long list of people who have been with PCC for over 20 years. So we say once you've been with us for over 20 years, you get 3 months off, paid, do what you want. So we have, no.
No, just once.
Oh my goodness, no, not every year.
Just once. And
No,
you-
once you've made 20 years, you can choose one time to take a 3-month sabbatical, or if that is at the end of your time with PCC, it can be you retire, but you're still employed for 3 months.
We could,
I mean, yeah,
or
at some point.
it can get tacked onto your retirement. So Bill, who I said just retired on Tuesday, he's on some CTO and then technically sabbatical for 3 months. You do have to do something. So for example, Lewis, who's not at this UC, he owns land near the Canadian border, and he's building a house for his family this summer, like a cabin. So and then we force them to share when they come back at company meeting. And Jen just got back from sabbatical, and she does scrapbooking of all of her children's sports and stuff. So yeah, that was a good one. That needs to go. I'm gonna write that down too.
Like I said, it used to be a rumor, which is why it's not on the slide deck. Now it's official, and we do have a pretty long list of people who are eligible and have not taken it yet. So, yeah, we have 2 people out right now. I guess technically 3 with Bill out, and then Jen was just out. So, yeah.
I know. I know. Cool. Well, anything else? Oh, we got one more question in the back. Middle
Jen's
back.
coming.
Sorry, actually, it's not a question, it's more of one of the things that we do for our employees is they earn extended illness bank, so that way they don't have to dip into their PTO after their 40 hours. So every year, for every year that they spend with us, they earn 40 hours, up to 200 hours of extended illness. And they can use that for themselves or any family members that maybe might come sick or something like that.
Nice.
Do you allow your PTO to carry over each year? And if not, if so, how much? And then do you pay out PTO that's not used at any portion?
So we used to do, you could carry over, I think it was 25 days at the end of the year. And then we found, wow, people are just packing November, December, or we would not pay it out, it would be forfeited. So I think there was also some laws passed in California that also got us to change that. But we switched to being a monthly accrual, well, technically always accrued monthly, but we allow employees to, as soon as you're working with us, you can access your CTO. We just want you to end of the year 0 or positive. But so we say that you can roll over from month to month your full year amount plus 5 days. So if anyone's been working there for 5 years or less, it's 26 days can roll over from month to month because you get 21 for a full year. And that switch is to help it so that November, December aren't stacked with CTO, but also helps encourage people to actually take time off so that they don't stop accruing CTO. So there were definitely some grumbles about it, but again, it's part of that work-life balance of being like, nope, you want to continue to accrue CTO, and we know you need to not work. You need to step away. So if it is if the CTO is forfeited, you haven't taken it, it's just not accrued and there's no payout. At the beginning of each plan year, we do allow folks to sell up to 35% of their CTO, and so the beginning of the plan year, they can have some of that back. Yep. We also allow employees to buy up to 5 days, which basically means you're paying for it throughout the year if you would like more.
All right. Are we at time?
We still have 10 minutes.
10, why I'm off. These times are, sorry, my brain is ready for the top of the hour. Other questions or shares? I'm not trying to kick you out. I just think I'm breaking the rules. So. Yes. Yes. We just hired, not right now, but probably. We have hired significantly since the pandemic, over 40 people. Yeah, we have grown a lot. So thank you. Thank you for
thank you very much.
funding our services. Is really what should be happening. But yeah, all right. Well, thank you all very much.
Yes, thank you.
Have a great afternoon.